Hello, everybody. It's another Sunday, and I am whole bunches late. You notice I wasn't on last week or the week before. The week before, I had internet troubles. We lost all internet up here. And then last week, I was down in San Diego visiting my daughter. But I sure appreciate y'all for coming out. Let's see who we got here. We got Colleen Tebow. What's going on? Did you find a name for that truck? I kind of like Half Pint too. That's a pretty good one. And then we got Mofo Driver. What's going on? Auto Salvage Outlaws. What's going on, brother? And of course, Twisted Mopar. Good to see you, man. And the nicest guy on YouTube. Up. Unfinished Project. What's going on? Mohawk 62 squeezing on in here. What's going on, man? You're going to go with Half Pint, huh? That's pretty cool. I was thinking of a Little House on the Prairie when that came up. That's what you ought to do. Put a couple of braids down, pigtail braids in there somewhere. Pure Pontiac Garage. What's going on? Crash's Roadrunner Garage. And the best name on YouTube, Max Wedge Dick Dastardly. I love that name. Justin Hill, good to see you, man. He's just up north of me here a little bit. Thank goodness we got some little bit of better weather here. It's still cold as all get out. I think it says 38 degrees. That's what it warmed up to today. But this week we're supposed to get a little bit of okay weather. I'm sure hoping for it because I ain't ready for this winter this year. And Triple M, Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans. What's going on, Damien? $17 last night. Yeah, I know. It got brutal cold. I got to have one more good day. I got to tear my backhoe apart. Well, I got to take the top of the transmission off and slip the shift ports. Right now it's stuck in high gear. All it's got is third and fourth. So it kind of makes it a little bit gutless trying to push things around. So I got to take the top of that transmission off, reach in there and pop the third, fourth gear forward, and you know how manual transmissions work, and pop first and second back, and then it'll pick it up again. That's what happens when they get totally wore out, and that thing is is pretty well wore out. That's what I got to do this next week, and I'm hoping to do it in a little bit of warm. Nothing like playing with gear oil in a cold weather. Yes, braids are in the work. Going to stop at the Halloween shop tomorrow. Oh, yeah, and it's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. Good holiday for classic cars, because that's what we do. We bring things back from the dead. Sitting in the hospital with your wife? Oh, Lord. I'm sorry, Mohawk. She was admitted Friday. Thyroid problems, huh? She's doing okay now and says hi to everyone. We're all sending you and her our best there, Mohawk. I sure hope she gets better here real soon. Thyroid problems, yeah, they can be kind of brutal. My stepbrother, he just went in and had a, looks like they cut his throat. He got a great big old scar now that runs across his neck. They had to take a bunch of his thyroid out. I'm not ready for snow, huh? Oh yeah, me either. And you're going to get it a little bit before I do. 50s here, but raining. 50s I can barely deal with, but you throw the rain in on top of it, yeah, it probably feels like 30s. Hang in there, Dick. You'll get it. Yeah, we all are there, Mohawk. I've been trying to get my garage civilized for days. Barely tell any difference. I hear you. The most dangerous thing you can do in a shop is make a nice clean spot. Then usually you pull something else in to fill that clean spot in a pretty big old hurry. So just like any other week, we're just doing an open mic live. I believe I still got the, yeah, it's still up there. The link there is posted and pinned up there at the top. Anybody wants to climb on in, just hit that link. I'll let you on in. If you click it though, and I can't see your face, uh, try to do something to make sure that I know it's you. There's been a lot of funny business going on YouTube, people stealing people's identity and then doing some tomfoolery, nasty stuff when it pops up and it's not actually the person you think it is. As long as I know it's you, yeah, I'll let you on in here and I don't know, we'll sit back and talk about whatever. I'm going to pile out at our house, going to pile it up and build berms around your place. That works really good for keeping the heat in, especially when it's all you got. If you see in my videos, every once in a while you'll see that what is it, a 48-foot motorhome, Class A motorhome that's parked alongside my shop. Me and the wife actually lived in that for about a year and a half while we was looking for property. And well, we went through one Idaho winter in that thing, and yeah, you learn how to conserve heat when you're trying to live in a well, place like Idaho in a motorhome. Oh, there's our friend from South Dakota, the Black Hills area. What's going on, Jim? If any of you guys are planning a trip, it would make a great rod run. I recommend his town right there, Rapid City. It is beautiful, and it's right on your way through to go out and you see Mount Rushmore and Deadwood and all of that stuff up in the Black Hills. Absolute beautiful area. Rapid City has probably got one of my favorite old you know, downtown areas of all the cities I've been in. And we got Mr. John Welburn in. What's going on, John? I got to get wood and coal yet, huh? If I want to use the garage. I'm working on a deal with cousin Mike, getting a wood stove. I'm thinking about putting in the back corner of the shop. Gonna try to heat it a little bit better that way. That little pellet stove I got in there. Oh Lord. Basically all that pellet stove does is it gets enough heat that I set my tools on top of it so my hands don't stick to them in the wintertime. That's about as much heat as that thing puts off. So I'm thinking about putting in a regular wood stove in the back. I already got the chimney and everything. In fact, I got that nice big shop heater, hangs from the ceiling back there. But without insulation, that thing would just sit there and run 24/7. My gas meter out there would just start smoking. It'd be spinning so fast. So I ain't doing that. But I got plenty of wood scraps out and everything. I could probably heat that place for about 2, 3 years just on the wood I've already got. That's what I should be doing. Hey, Mater, what's going on, man? Hopefully you was able to get at least a little bit of something out of that junkyard that's going to be crushing everything next to you. What you said about Rapid City was a lot better than South Dakota. Meth, we're on it. Unfortunately, meth is just the plague of this whole country. A lot of beautiful parts of the country have just been really turned upside down with that nasty old stuff. And I don't understand why. People knew what went in that stuff. Oh, why you'd ever want to put that in your body, I have no idea. I put propane in the garage about 3 years ago. Plenty warm, but dang, it's expensive. Yeah. I've got a propane furnace that I run every once in a while out there. But yeah, it's kind of brutal. I just run it off little barbecue, or what are they, 7 pound tanks, 7 gallon tanks. Nice thing about that, though, it's not insulated, so it's well ventilated. So if I run propane out there, I don't have to run a chimney. The downside is you got to run it a lot. Jay from Indirect Connection. What's going on, man? Waiting on the word when you go back to work? You've been laid up for a little while? Hope you're all right there, Mater. I'm on my way to Fleet Farm to get insulated overalls. I'm frozen. Yeah, I dug mine out as storage. Got them all washed up and ready to go for the season. A couple of years ago at Costco, I found some snowboarding pants. They're all fully insulated and waterproof. I guess they're for snowboarding. But I'll tell you what, they work really good for working out in the shop because not only are they waterproof, but they're oil proof too. So if I spill something on me, like I always do, it just runs right off. But if you get a chance and you go to Costco and you see those, they're advertised as snowboarding pants. They work great. I got 4 pairs, and well, I've had them for 2 years now. So they hold up pretty good. I'm pretty rough on clothes. And they come in the perfect color, black. My only insulation in the garage is dust. I hear you, dust and boxes. I guess cardboard does have a insulation. It's probably got a little bit of an R value. All those boxes I got on them shelves, well, that's a little bit insulation, right? I've been out so long, my pockets got holes. I hear you. Oh yeah, John. I can handle the heat. If I was down in Arizona, I think I would be just fine. I can handle the heat, no problem. But a little bit of cold, oh, it just tears me up. I know you guys see me rolling around out there, but it's out of necessity. If you don't, well, you're locked up for a good 4 months. But anyway, that's where I'm at today. Oh, I got to go and get another bottle of argon too. I've got the motor and the transmission in the 58 right where I want it now. I just got to get a little more argon to weld in the motor mounts, the extension for the motor mounts to the frame up. And I'm going to reuse the stock cross member. I just have to build up the tranny mount on it because I want to reuse all of the stock e-brake and all of that stuff, and that all mounts. And well, the stock cross member is actually part of the e-brake, so I got to retain all of that stuff. And it just so happened that it's in the right spot. It just needs to be up, way up. I figured I moved that engine up. Oh, good Lord. Probably a good 6.5 inches. But it was easy to do in that car because that car pretty much didn't have a floor in it anyway. And I cut the hump pretty much in one piece. Back to the first major body frame rib. I can't cut it past there until I brace up the body so the body doesn't go boom, and then the doors won't open or shut and everything. So I gotta wait until I get some. I'm gonna go with 5/8, probably 88 wall tubing, and then I'll weld cross braces from the door pillar to the top all the way down to the door pillar on the bottom. Weld, just a little tack weld cross braces in there, and then from the bottom of the dash, just enough to keep the body from springing when I finish cutting the hump clear out of it. Because even though these cars are a body on frame, those braces that are in there, they're in there to hold the body all square. You go hog wild in there cutting, and then, well, lining the doors back up so the doors open and close right can be a real hassle. So that's probably what I'll be doing next week as well, is be getting a stick of that. That 5/8, I get it in 20-foot sticks, and a bottle of argon, and it'll work. The motor mount extensions, I got a bunch of leftover stuff from when I built that backhoe. It's good 3/8 inch steel. So I'll take the plasma cutter and I'll cut out the pieces that I need for that and build the motor mounts out of that. Plus the A-pillar first support that comes over and is separated by the hump. I'm going to come across from there up to the dash, straight up to the dash. And I'll build those out of that heavier material too. And then the hump will just come up and finished it off. Anyway, I'll show you all that in the video that I'm supposed to have edited, but I ain't got it yet. I don't know how I handled it working at strip mines for about 20 years. Really cold there. Building fires under equipment to keep them started at -5. Oh yeah. Warming up the diesel in the tanks because it gels. Yeah. Have no fear, the Dougster's here. What's going on, brother? Thanks for stopping in, Mohawk. And like I said, all of our thoughts and prayers are going out to you and your wife there and everything. Hang in there, man. We're pulling for you. Let's see where I'm at there. Get caught back up there. Sherwin-Williams being a machine operator, huh? Cool. I had a house painting business there for a while. Painting houses and condos and apartments and all kinds of stuff. Bought a lot of stuff from Sherwin-Williams and Columbia. But I don't think Columbia is even in business anymore. Yeah, Sherwin-Williams had some good stuff. Used to run diesel equipment in -50 all the time. Yeah, up there in Alaska. Oof. Cousin Mike here at Landing Customs, he was in the Air Force stationed up in Alaska. Oof, in the brutal cold. I can't imagine being up there on the airstrip trying to refill those planes in 50-degree below zero with 20-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, oof, doesn't sound like a good time to me. Glad editing videos is not still actual film. Boy, I'll tell you what. Yeah. My dad, way back in the 70s, oh, he was a big shutterbug. He had all kinds of 35 millimeters, 8 millimeter, little home video things. He even had the editor for it, that 8 millimeter. It was a little thing you put your film on and you roll it to the frame you want, and it had a little razor blade that you hit a button and it would come down and cut it, and then you pull out to where you wanted the next to splice it, and it would cut it, and it had an automatic taper that would tape it. It was just like a little piece of Scotch tape that would tape them back together. Can you imagine editing your videos like that? I can't. Digital was, yeah, that's the way to go. Dinner time. Uh-oh. Better go up and get it there, Justin. The place I did work for, painting, got the paint from them. Pretty much all of us got it from them. Sherwin-Williams, they're kind of the big boys on the block for that. And honestly, a lot of their stuff is a lot cheaper than going to like Home Depot and getting all that. Home Depot, Lowe's. And I'm not a real big fan at all of the new paints that they got out. That stuff that's got supposedly has the primer and the paint mixed in with one. Rolls on like peanut butter. It doesn't blay out. You can't tip and roll it. It just, yeah, that stuff is just nasty. Best thing is the old way. You throw a coat of Kilts number 2 primer on it, let it dry. Doesn't take very long to dry, and then throw your sheen right over the top of it. Once you learn how to work your rollers and your brushes, you can wipe out a room in no time. Anyway, that's nasty stuff. I don't want to talk about that because I got more of that to do. All the new sheetrock we put up in the dining room. Yeah, I ain't got it textured and painted yet. By the time everything got up and running, it was almost time to go home. Lucky me, I ran drill. Got to jump air starter rock trucks. Way cool. Yeah, that's a bad thing about my backhoe out there. It's got the hydro drive in it. The transmission operates off of hydraulic pressure. And when it's brutal cold out there, oh Lord, I gotta let that thing sit and idle, just run, so it'll pump all that transmission oil all through all of that and get everything warm. Sometimes it takes a good half hour to get it just warm enough so it'll engage and move. Hydro drives, they're I don't know, they're handy because you can shift on the fly. You can go from reverse, forward to reverse on the fly. So when you're really, working dirt hard and heavy with your loader and all that, you can just come in, grab it, back up, and dump it, and it makes it pretty quick. But I still like the old clutch and direct drive. At 30 below zero out there, that direct drive still works. And it works right now. That thing out there, it takes a good, probably a gallon of diesel just to get it warm enough to where she'll move. Best part in Alaska was I worked nights, and I got to watch the northern lights while I was freezing to death on the flat line. You got to be careful working nights up that far too. They last for what, 4 or 5 months? I think it's a lot shorter than that, but that'd be the hardest thing about that far up north. when the sun goes down, it doesn't come up for another month or two. That'd be hard to. And then in the opposite, in the summertime, it's light all the time. Your sleep patterns, it'd just be all wacko. Never seen the Northern Lights? Here in Idaho, we've seen them a couple of times. Every once in a while, we'll get glimpses of them. But it, by far, is not a regular event. Every once in a while, though, some kind of science that I don't understand happens, and yeah, they'll dance around out there for you. I think it's about every 5-6 years we get them. I worked for a place that spray painted, and it was not house paint. Yep, had to be mixed and then baked. Yeah, it sounds like epoxy. We did 2 of the Texas roadhouses. That's what they were. Nasty, nasty stuff. That's when you got to suit completely up and drag the air hose around with you. And you got to have somebody else watching the air hose because it's pumping air into the guy that's in there spraying. If that hose kinks, oh Lord, you don't know it until you pass out. Yeah, you get into that heavy, heavy, high caustic stuff like that. Yeah, it's nasty. Way back in the 90s, what was it, 90, 93, 94, somewhere around there. I almost went to Guam doing that. They you go in and sandblast the old diesel electricity generators because that's what Guam pretty much runs on is the old Navy diesel generators. And a friend of mine, he got the contract to go down there and you sandblast them all off and then you paint them. And by the time you get done painting the last part of it, you're sanding it again, sandblasting it all off again, and starting all over again. So it was just a continuous job because of all the salt water and all the salt in the air down in Guam and just the jungle climate there. I was on my way. And I backed out of it. Kind of glad I did because about 3 months after he got down there, they went with another contract. They broke his contract and sent him to kicking rocks. Poor Brian, he got stuck there for 8 years. Didn't have enough money to get back. Stuck on a little bitty island. Guam is tiny. Our cell towers lost internet about the same time your internet went out. Yeah, that was strange. I think it had something to do with what all those cop cars and fire trucks were doing. All of a sudden, it looked like natural disaster or something went on just north of me here. They had about every state service that we got headed out that way. I lost internet and power even for a little bit. Hey, Wendy, what's going on? Wendy and Dawn English. Hey, I got a little something in the mail today. Look at there. I'll find a good spot for it. And I'll send you some more of mine. Boy, yours are Your guys is a lot bigger than mine. Mine are tiny. Thanks a bunch, guys. I sure appreciate it. And again, if any of you guys want some of these little stickers of mine, just throw me an email. You can find my email address on my homepage in the About section. Throw me an email, give me your contact information. I'll chuck a handful of them in your in an envelope and send them out to you. Mr. Dean, I'm in the truck cruising. Sorry, I can't wait and say hi. No problem at all, man. Good to see you, though. I know you're always out there somewhere. I got my labor's union card at 15. Did everything from highway construction to body shop. Don't miss any of them. Body work is the one thing in this industry that I do not like it. The final paint, yeah, that's not too bad. But body work, I cannot get the hang of it. I'm real good at putting body filler on, and I'm even better at taking it off. Because I take it all off. Then I got to put more on, and then I take it all off. My old boss at the resto shop, he tried to uh, get work with me to get the hang of that, and I couldn't do it. I could weld in panels, I could weld in cab corners and all that stuff, but when it come to putting that little light skip of Bondo on there, no, it all come off. My friend's dad was a naval electrician stationed on Guam. Sweet. Yeah, a bunch of cool stories from there. There's a place down there, I guess, called Jeff's Pirate Haven. It's a big, famous bar right on the beach in Guam. It's been there since, well, your friend's dad's probably knows right where it's at. It's been there for a very, very long time. Now, Brian, he told me all kinds of stories about that place. Oddly enough, I know quite a few Chamorans too. When I lived in Boise, Boise is a refugee city. Always has been. Any any conflict that the United States government has with anybody, pretty much guarantee there'll be a whole bunch of them in Boise, Idaho. In fact, the old veterans home that was in Boise was set up for Confederate veterans. So they move them out of, back east where they were getting persecuted and everything, and they send them to Boise, Idaho. So very diverse area, and a lot of Chamorans, a lot of Basque, you name it. That place is a melting pot of all kinds of people. But anyway, the Chamorans, they're pretty cool people. I really got along good with them. Chamorans are the natives of Guam. But that's me. I pretty much get along good with everybody. Doesn't happen fast enough for me, huh? Like I said, I got the link pinned up there. If anybody wants to climb on in, hop on in. Hey, there we go. New Guy's Guitar. What's going on, man? I sure like the series you and your brothers got going there. playing around with that carburetor like that. That's pretty cool. That's New Guy's Guitar and New Guy's Garage. Hey, would you look at there? Got Jason's Garage. What's going on, man? How's the little S10 coming? You got any more time on it, or all right? It was a. I got multiple screens going on. You can see how well I multitask. Very good at it as long as it's one thing at a time. On Guam during World War II, the enlisted men were only allowed beer and no stronger, and only officers were reserved right for cold beer. By evaporating half-barrel jet fuel. The truck is ready to roll, but the weather was not cooperated. Sweet. Coffee's always good. Evaporating half-barrel jet fuel with an air hose. I can't see Max Wedge. Weird. Not on my block list. I think John Wilburn was saying something about that. Sometimes, yeah, the YouTube machine will kind of go haywire with Max Wedge there. It'll, for some reason, block your comments and stuff. Can everybody else see his? Make sure here. I know I don't have him blocked. I never have him blocked. He's a cool guy. Hey, we got Dutch Guy's Garage. What's going on, man? Let me see if I can make sure he's not blocked. No, he's not blocked. You're definitely there. Let me cruise on over his way here. Make sure they didn't just stick you in that little box there. I also moved around all where all the buttons are. Yeah, dang it. Settings. Community. Yeah. I know how to fix it, maybe. Hey, if I go in and make you a moderator. Let's see if we can't fix that. Back was this dastard. There you go, Max Wedge. I made you a moderator, so maybe if you post a comment now, it'll definitely show up. Maybe. I don't know. This computer stuff confuses me. There we go. Now you're coming up. Okay, now I catch up here, see where we're at here. First Responder Garage. What's going on, Damien? Good to see you. We are wrapping up the new shop tonight. Sweet. Get it all done up just before winter. That's good to go. Cleaning the shop, getting ready for the next project. I'll be listening in. Hello, all in the chat. Sweet. Holy cow, look at here. Eric Halvorsen. This guy's over in Norway? Anyway, great to see you, man. Functional Histories. This guy here, he does all kinds of really cool stuff with Hot Wheels. You're not the only confused one. Oh, I tell you, man, this computer stuff, it just blows my mind. Brother Hoop, what's going on, man? Got 6 in the barn, but room for 12. Oh, you're halfway there. DJ Truth. Yeah, I figure if I set old Dick up as a mod, they won't mess with him no more after that. And Max Wedge Dick Dastardly, he's a heck of a cool guy. I got no problem him being on one of my mods. Oh, Lord. Just trying to recover from your surgery? Good Lord. I hope everything's all right there, Brother Hoop. You have a few Hot Wheels. I can't help myself but to go over and I haven't bought any Hot Wheels in a long time, but I still look through them. One of these days, I'm going to find a 1958 Ford. One of these days, it will happen. Either that or I got to quit buying these dang orphan cars that nobody makes anything for. Better every day, huh? Oh, it's good to hear there, man. '58 Ford what? Oh, either a 300 or a club sedan. I've looked all over in models and everything for those two types, and nobody sells anything for them. Thunderbirds, yeah, you can find 58 Thunderbirds. I've seen a few trucks, pickup trucks and that, but nothing for the 300 or the club sedan. Yeah, there was one model company. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was AMT. They had a Fairlane one, a Fairlane 500, but it was a short run series and it was quite a while ago. So if you do find them on eBay, let's just say that model kit that somebody had already opened the plastic on, the bidding started for what I paid for that car. I was actually surprised to find Hot Wheels here in Norway at a regular cheap chain store. Oh, sweet. Scandinavia's got quite a classic car following. If y'all haven't checked it out, go check Eric's channel out and go see what he's got going on. He's got some pretty cool stuff. Twisted, how the heck are you? Yeah, diecast and old models. Yeah, this sure has gone up. Too bad too, because the model cars is how anybody can get into this hobby, and you really can practice a lot of this stuff on plastic models. My favorite thing to do was I'd find them at yard sales. I'd find messes of them, just unfinished kits or sometimes even complete ones that nobody's even started on yet. And then I'd take them and I'd throw them all in a big old tote. Just open the box, take them all out, and throw them all in that tote. It was kind of like my own private little junkyard. And I'd pull them out and I'd build a car out of whatever I could pull out. think that's how I think that's how I got started into this whole rat rodding and stuff. First one I did like that was I was trying to build a Mad Max car, and out here, we can't find Falcons, so I tried to make it out of it was a Fox body Mustang was the model kit that I started with, and I got it pretty close to looking like a Mad Max car. Had an old semi truck model kit, and I took the saddle tanks off of it and stuck it in the back, cut the back window out of the box body Mustang, stuck those fuel tanks down in there. Just made all up to, try to look like the Mad Max car. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, the AMT Mach 1 was how I started getting into cars myself. Yep. Christmas gift from a step uncle. And it was something you could do at the kitchen table. You didn't have to have a whole bunch of stuff, and it really gets you going into the hobby. Functional histories. Yeah, and everybody go and check out the stuff that he's doing. It'll amaze you how he can get that kind of detail in little bitty little Hot Wheels. It's just ridiculously cool. There are super detailed vintage NASCAR models. Yeah, I had one of Bobby Allison. You had to assemble the roll cage exactly. It was pretty cool. I had that one and a Testers model company Porsche, the bathtub Porsche. What is that? The 934. You know what I'm talking about. The first Porsches. Anyway, you had to put the pistons. The pistons came with the rods already on them, but you had to stick that into the block and assemble the heads on it and stick them to the crane. You had to build the motor, and they're just tiny little 124 scale. That one was really cool. Came with the brake lines that you had to run, everything. That was a cool model. That one I actually never built all the way. That was one I never finished. Go figure. But yeah, I had one of those old, I think it was probably early 80s. I think it was Bobby Allison, if I remember right. I painted it a different scheme. I'm still selling off my personal collection. I've sold about $1,000 worth over the last month. Holy cow. Yeah, Big Mike's got a pretty good collection. How you doing, BareRose? Oh, tired. I'll tell you that right now. I'm beat. I just got back from California. Went down there. Well, she's told everybody now, so I can definitely tell everybody. We're expecting our first grandchild. My daughter down in San Diego is getting ready to have our first grandkid. So we went down there and visited with her for about a week, and we just got back a little bit ago. But boy, am I beat. And my dad's doing a lot. He's getting along. He hasn't been out in the shop much, but in fact, he hasn't been. When I talked to him last, he hasn't been out in the shop in about 3 weeks. But he's hanging in there, and he's still going. So now it's time for me to get over there and start throwing some rust and tools in his hand. Push him out into the shop. Well, thanks, you twisted mopar. That's official. I can be old now. Thank you. Functional history. I have a few in mind for donations. The ones I'm selling are super treasure hunts. The other are high collectible ones. Yeah, last year and even this year, even you gave away some pretty good stuff. Thanks, Eric. It's going to be fun. Now I got a full excuse for all of this stuff going white. Your first one is 2 months old now. Hey, they're pretty close there. Let's get them together. maybe at one of these no-name national events, and just let the grandkids of the OGs just run around, and yeah, that sounds like a good time. We got all kinds of nonsense going on. That's perfect. Hey, would you look here? We got 6% in the house. What's going on, man? I see you're about ready to get back onto the Chandler. And the last video I seen was that little short of yours when you're throwing all the empty spray cans and aerosols in the garbage can. It's a good little short. Go over and check it out. When you jump and dive right into a complete build like this, yeah, this stuff takes time. And it's the little things that just you go out and work on them for 2 3 days and you stand back and look and it doesn't look like you did anything to them, but it's you know hours upon hours of hard work. It doesn't look like you did anything. If you happen to have a STH that you can actually can't stand, a lot of collectors do, then send that to me. I chop it up for scrap. Quite cool. If JB is here, there's definitely some nonsense going on. And would you look right there? He slid right in underneath you. What's going on, JB? I caught your last video. Yeah, it's happened to me before too. The infamous tranny swap. Yeah, I put that in there. Somebody got offended by it and they hit the little report button. And I think that the response that you got was the same one that I got. I think it's just an automated thing. If somebody clicks that and you got a word in there that, is in the machine as being a bad word or a questionable word, it'll fire that automatic response to you. I clicked the same. I did the exact same thing you did. I was like, "What the heck did I do? Where is it?" It's same exact thing you went through, and I just okay, whatever. But I didn't hear anything more from it or anything like that. But I'm pretty sure it was that I said tranny swap, and I was talking about transmission. It was our word first, but somebody probably took it wrong. But anyway, long story short, man, don't let it get you down. I've been chipping away at the Chandler. Just got to work on all my other projects before the snow flies. I seen that what happened when you pulled that brake drum off of that. What is it? A Commando? The little Jeep pickup of it that he's got there. Go check out that video. Oh man, I've had that happen quite a few times. You, and everything goes. Yep, time change brakes. How close are you up from Twin Falls? Twin Falls is about 3 hours. I got two uncles that live there now. Well, one's in Jerome, which is just right on the other side of the canyon from Twin Falls. But it's about, oh, About 3 hours south of me.
Are we here?
Hey, Twisted, what's going on?
What's happening?
Good to see you, man.
So you're going to be a grandpa now, huh?
Yep, it's official.
It's official. Has it hit you yet, though?
Oh, it will after about 5 years. That's when they'll let me take her out in the shop and light her on fire.
It hit you when you're holding that baby the first time. Then you'll realize. That's when it happens. So, yep.
I keep telling my daughter, yeah, I can't wait. I'll take her out to the shop, show her how to hold a bead while your hand's on fire,
Oh yeah, all the time holding the bottle. Yeah, start them early. Yeah, yeah. Just hand her the keys now.
Yep. So how you been?
I've been doing okay. I still haven't got my motor back yet, but I went and talked to the guy yesterday, and maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe I'll have it before Thanksgiving. I think I'll have my hands on it.
Sweet.
So that'll be okay. I mean, it's winter time. Racing's winding down. I wish I would have had it before now, but that's okay, I guess.
Do you still have tracks that are open around you? Or?
Yeah, actually, Gateway's going to run November 6th, 8th. A couple of days. They're going to run a couple of days there at Gateway. I think the rest of them are pretty much all done. So we'll see. But I'm probably done for the year. I think I used up all my alcohol when I was up at Havana at the racetrack up there. So it worked out pretty good. I used all that out. So it's like, well, might as well winterize it now. So get the antifreeze in it.
She sure is a sweet looking car.
Well, thank you. It wasn't supposed to be that way. I can tell you that. It was not in the lane. It was supposed to be a street car. Super stock spring street car is all it was supposed to be. It turned into something much more than that, obviously.
Famous last words.
Famous last words. Well, I had a body guy and a paint guy paint it. It was supposed to be in Patriot Blue. It was the original color with silver interior. Well, that guy couldn't paint it and he couldn't do the body work, and I did all the body work. So all he had to do was, make it somewhat straighter than I had it. He couldn't do either one. So $4,500 later, all the stuff he put on was back in the floor, and I was back in bare metal. So that tells you how things can go sideways sometimes. So, but I've had awful good luck with the car. The car's been tremendously consistent for me. I mean, I don't get to race it as much as I wanted to over the last 3 or 4 years, but life will get in the way like that sometimes. And being injured for 2.5, 3 years, that takes you out of the ballpark pretty quickly. So, but that combination's been in that car over just over 10 years now. So I've never pulled the pan off or nothing. I change the oil in it, whether it needs it or not, and go from there. But it's been a very good piece. So hopefully I can get the same kind of piece out of the new one as I have this one, but I'm not. I don't think so. So be like just Mopar Joe, try to trick and funny everybody putting a 512 in his,
Joe, that's one cool guy too.
Oh yeah. I don't know how fast mine run. I mean, my car runs really good for what it is. My car runs really good for what it is. So small motor. So
says 2 hours on Google Maps. Yeah, I'm slow. I take my time. Well, you see, you got to stop at the wagon wheel in Rupert on the way there and get you some biscuits and gravy. That takes another good hour there.
Ain't nothing wrong with biscuits and gravy. I can't eat that stuff right now, but there ain't nothing wrong with it.
That's how I judge every restaurant. If they can't get that right,
Yeah. If they can't get the basic biscuits and gravy down, yeah, they probably don't want to stop back by there. Yeah, that's pretty basic stuff. So how's your Fairlane coming along, BareRose?
Slowly but sure.
Slow but sure. I haven't seen any updates for a while on it, so I didn't know where you was at.
I've been lagging. I admit it.
Well, it seems like right after No Name that kind of, I think everybody's in that boat. They've worked so hard to get there. And it's kind of like, well, everybody's taking like a mini vacation. So I get that. So I did hear a rumor
for next year's No Name Nationals. So keep your eye on John Wilburn. Might have a new event coming up. Might be a lot of fun.
Well, that'd be good. I kind of heard a rumor today. I seen a posting actually on it on Facebook about Jeffers being leased out to another person. So it won't be Jeffers next year. I don't believe so.
It could be. It's just, you know how these things are.
Well, you never know. I mean, this guy's got it leased, is what I seen on the Facebook post. So I was kind of surprised to see that, but I kind of figured he was either going to sell it, lease it, or something. So.
The town really likes us, though. The whole community really likes us.
Yeah, well, that's a good little town right there. I worked down in that area for a little while driving the truck, so it's a good little area down in there.
Great track too. All that open area, you could just fill that whole pit area with tents and campers and what got you. It's just
perfect,
it's great for that kind of event.
Yeah, it's kind of expanded. I don't know, over the years it has expanded down there, so it's gotten a little bit bigger. I mean, it goes all the way back there to them houses, so towards the end of that track.
I'm thinking about upgrading Lady Dougster's Beetle to a Holly bug spray, huh? Or a Rubber Progressive 18. What would you choose? I like the Webbers.
Yeah, Weber's is what I'd go with.
Especially if you can still find the Spanish ones, the Spanish-made ones.
Yeah. Yeah, Weber's is what I'd go with. I mean, guy can do what he wants, but I think the Weber's is probably a lot better to go with, I think, but that's just my opinion.
When we were running them, very little trouble. Some of the guys were running Delordos, and they're a little finicky.
Yeah.
Especially in the heavy sand. Those Delordos, like they don't, one little piece of sand makes it through that air cleaner, and they mess up.
About the only VW stuff we messed with was, we cut the fenders off and made like a little mini dune buggy out of one time. I mean, I owned a 60. My first vehicle was a 64 VW Beetle. That was my
really?
It was my very first car.
64? Mine was a 62.
Yeah, 64. Yeah. Had no horsepower. No heat. 100? Yeah, no heat. Rub your hands together if it was wintertime.
Oh, Lord. Driving them things in the winter? Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal up here.
Wing windows and kick them all the way in. So it'll defrost the windshield.
Yep.
And then you wear a snow machine glove on one hand to hold the ice scraper So when it gets too bad, you can roll the window down and reach out and
go out there and scrape the eye. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Lord, they're brutal.
Been there, done that. Yeah. It's a pretty cool car outside of that. Actually, I just got through looking at a dune buggy here, and it was an actual dune buggy. It's been sitting out in this guy's yard for years. I've been here over 10 years. So I've seen that dune buggy a good 10 years sitting in this guy's yard. And I finally got brave enough. I go, well, I think I'll stop by and just see what he's going to do with it. And I stopped by and he said, well, it can be yours. I go, really? I said, well, what kind of money is it going to take it to be mine? And he goes, oh, he says, about $5,000. I go, no, I got to pass on that one. It was rough. I mean, motor's locked up. Half the pieces are gone. The fiberglass is just, I mean, it's pretty bad shape now. But
it's like a beach buggy type.
Yeah, it's a regular beach buggy. It's a fiberglass bodied and stuff. I mean, he goes, well, I got a spare motor for it. And he said, I'll show you that. So I went and looked at it. And I mean, it's sitting out in the weather. And it's like you couldn't take two of the motors and make one. So yeah, it was a pretty rough deal. I knew it was rough, but I thought, well, maybe I could do something with the guy. So I got brave enough, and it's like, man, I got shot down pretty quick at $5,000. I said, I can't do $5,000, no way. So
wow.
Yeah, he was trying to retrieve all of his money, I think. But
I do know there's two of those kits though.
Mm-hmm.
If it's one of them two kits, those are actually worth money.
This one here, I forget what the name of it was, but it was it's a unique kit for the car, and it actually kind of looks like that speed buggy is what it reminds me of, that cartoon speed buggy. It reminds me of that dune buggy. So, but yeah, I'm thinking it's probably worth a few bucks. I mean, but not $5,000 worth. Because it's pretty rough. The old sun's not done it any favors over the years. So it's pretty brittle. A guy'd probably have to recoat it and all of that. So a lot of stuff's broke. So.
Oh, the new track manager was at the Low Names last year or last month.
Yeah, like I said, I seen a post of it on Facebook, so it was kind of weird. I knew the track was up for sale, so I knew that, but
it has been for quite a while.
Yeah, there's quite a few tracks for sale around here.
Yeah.
So really, I-57 there at Benton, that's been up for sale for a while. Harrisburg, they just reopened down there in Harrisburg, so that just reopened. So, which is good. That was a pretty nice track. I've run on it too. It's a pretty nice track. Used to be called Accelicorder for a long time.
Also found a Mallory distributor, huh? I think Dad still got a couple of those.
Wow. A Mallory dual point.
Heavy into Volkswagen.
Wow, for a Volkswagen. Couldn't have been a lot of them made, I don't think.
Oh, back in the day, everything. There was so much aftermarket for air-cooled Volkswagen, and it was cheap. It was real cheap.
Yeah.
That's why everybody was getting into them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you could tear them motors down in no time, It didn't take nothing to tear the motor down.
You completely rebuild them for about $500.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And actually, you could increase the size. I think you go like 1,618 to 22 or 23, something like that.
2180. Well, they jumped clear up to 2180 in the standard like that. But yeah, you can go any farther than that.
Yeah.
1635 was a real common size.
Yeah. I think the motor I put in that 64 was a 18, I think. That's what it worked out to be. Something they normally have like in a van. I mean, that was the jugs and pistons we put on it anyway. It was 1800cc deal. So
Most people wouldn't believe how far $5,000 goes on a Volkswagen. Yeah, especially
yeah,
after playing with these V8s
yeah, yeah.
and how
I
quick they.
couldn't,
That's
I
the
couldn't do the $5,000 on that one. There's just no way. I mean, I couldn't repair it for what that was. No way. I'd be over the top on it. And you get online now and look at Marketplace, and it's just flooded with them dune buggies of all various kinds. So, one that's running and driving for anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000. So
the last one we did, it was a well, all that was left of it was just the Volkswagen transaxle, but we stuck a 2.3 Pinto engine on it
yeah.
and then flipped it around backwards and mid-engined it. Boy, it was a sandrail.
Yeah.
That thing would fly.
Yeah. Yeah. And he didn't have a title for it anymore. So he said, I don't know. I'd have to probably file for a lost title or something. So I can't buy nothing and bring it to Illinois without a title. That's just way, way too much involvement there. It's almost impossible now in Illinois, the rules that they've set this year to get a untitled vehicle titled again. It's almost impossible.
A lot of hoops you got to jump.
You can't even junk them. I mean, if you junk them, it has to be made like it's not a car. You have to chop it up to nothing. Because if it resembles a car, they won't take it without a title.
You got to use $200 worth of acetylene to get
Yeah.
$150 out of it when you're done, huh?
Yeah. I use a chop saw. Once I'm done with them and they ain't got a title and I used it for parts, it's chop saw. There ain't nothing left of it. It's little bitty pieces. So, yeah, I hate to do that, but I mean, that's the way they are here. You almost can't get a title. It's almost impossible now in Illinois. So
here they just passed it to where you have to have title to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And
yeah, they're really
on getting titles too. It used to be real easy to get a title, but they've stiffened up a little.
Well, they probably had to because people was going down out of them states and say, well, there ain't no title down there. They go down there and steal somebody's car, and drag it somewhere else and get some title out of a different state on it, and then here we go, So put different tags on it or whatever,
And there's a lot of title washing going on, with flood cars, stuff like that.
Yeah, so doesn't surprise me all the states ain't cracking down on it, really.
I'm kind of glad that you have to have title now to get rid of them, though, because it keeps them all. Now people can't get rid of them.
Yeah. Yep.
Or, good Lord, I'd go into like Mill Creek or Pacific Recycling, and you see beautiful cars in there, but you can't buy them.
Yeah.
Once they go into there, it's done.
That's the way it is here in Illinois. Once it enters in a salvage yard here, it's automatically got a salvage title to them for it, and it can't leave. The parts can leave, but the car will never be back. They've stiffened that up real hard. And
here at the recycling places, if they're in there, you can't even buy parts off of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, junkyards you can. You can't buy the whole car.
Yeah.
But you can buy parts off it.
Yeah, here they won't sell you the whole car out of the salvage yard. It won't happen. I mean, I'm not saying somebody, a friend of a friend, couldn't make it happen, but for the most part, it ain't coming back out of that salvage yard here. So,
what people here will do is they'll buy them out of the junkyard and then take them to Utah and title them out of Utah.
Yeah.
And then drag them back up, because in Utah you can still title.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many hoops to jump through in some of them states. They want to see the car, look it over. Missouri, you got to take the car and have it inspected and all kinds of stuff. So, It ain't like you can just take a pile of junk in there and say, "Yeah, I want a title for this." It probably won't pass inspection, so they won't give you one. So they've cracked down. So it used to be easy there to get a title for an old car.
Here, it used to
Just,
be you call the sheriff,
well,
comes out, and you'll do a bin search on it. Make
yeah,
sure it's not stolen or
yeah,
anything like that.
yeah,
And then you take that into the DMV, and they'll give you a bonded title. You got to wait, what is it, like 5 years? And then you get a regular title.
yeah, yeah. I almost bought a '64 Dart here the other day, and talking to the guy, and the price was right. I was willing to pay the price, no problem, and willing to go drive to get it. And he goes, I asked him, I said, "Well, you got title?" He said, "Oh, no, there ain't no title with this car." And I said, "Dude, there ain't nothing I can do with that." I said, he said, "Well, it's easy to get a title." And I go, "Well, dude, if it's easy to get a title and, charge me whatever and
I'll talk.
march on." But I said, "I can't do anything here without a title. So if it's that easy, go get one and, tell me what that is and I'll throw that in the pile. But other than that, nah, I got to pass." So,
A
hate to.
VW
I
Karma
really
Gia.
wanted that
That's
car.
one of my favorite cars right there.
Yeah. So my boy's building that '64 Dart up there, and I thought, well, maybe I can hunt around for something because I got a couple of motors I could throw in one, make a little street stomper out of it. So, and this near would have been perfect because the patina was all there, and it's like, well, I wouldn't paint it, wouldn't do nothing. I'd fix it up nice, but the outside of the car would remain the same. So, yeah, no title, I can't do anything with that. So.
Yeah, mine too. She wants one of them pretty bad.
Oh, Carmen Gia. Mm-hmm.
I don't care what year it is because they all look the same. It
They
don't
was,
matter.
yeah,
They ain't
yeah,
change
it
anything.
changed enough. Yeah, yeah.
All they
Used to be
change
a guy
is the
over
VIN
here,
number.
used to be a guy in Troy, Illinois, over here that's all he had was Carmen Gias. He had dozens of them. I don't know if that guy still exists or not. I don't know, but that's been 10 years ago. I knew him. So yeah.
Probably had you to just keep that one going.
Wasn't that supposed to be some kind of Porsche knockoff or something?
Yeah, it was kind of the poor man's Ford.
Yeah, yeah. I think they took a Porsche and throwed it against the wall and say, "Here, we got a Carmen Gia." Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of the Carmen Gias, but I sure liked the Beatles.
Didn't Gia build a
Yeah.
couple of cars for Mopar too? In the
Well, the
70s?
Gia name come around in there somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it come in there somewhere.
That's all it was just a bodybuilder, a
Yes.
coach builder.
Yeah.
Over in Italy, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow or another, Porsche was kind of involved with that somehow, but I forget that story and how that went about. But, well, I'm going to get off here. I made me a big old pot of chili. So,
Sure, great seeing you, man.
all right. Well, y'all take care. Be careful. Yep. Still got the old hula hoop girl here going there. There we go. See y'all.
Great seeing you, Twisted.
Be careful.
It's always good to see you. The 914 Porsche was a VW. Yeah, Porsche and VW are just, especially in the early years, they're just almost identical. Gia made the turbine car bodies. Sweet. Didn't they send them back to Italy to have them scrapped too, or something like that? Or no, it was the ones that they didn't ship over yet. They scrapped them right, crushed them right there and at the at Gia. I think I remember reading something about that. The 914 was embarrassing. Honestly, when it comes to the Porsche, the 911 is the only one I like. And it was their best selling one. Of all the Porsches, that's the one that they run with that body style forever. Strange handling little cars. I have an aunt in Seattle. She was actually in Puyallup, but Puyallup, Seattle, same thing. She had a 70, 76, 77 911 Targa. It was a fun little car. Bone stock. My Uncle John was so happy to get rid of that car, though, because in Washington, it's a Porsche, so they had to pay luxury tax on top of it in the state of Washington. Just the cost to register, insure, and pay the taxes on that car every year, it was beyond expensive. And his car, his daily driver was a early 70s international travel all. He worked for International for years and years. Everything he drove was International. Hey, Tim, what's going on? Good to see you, man. The nicest guy on all of YouTube. Late 50s Porsches were the ones Huey Lewis drove in the I Want a New Drug video. That one, I think it was the same car, was also in that Tom Cruise movie, uh, not Top Gun. They used one in there too. Nicole Kidman, I think, drove it. But in that lawyer movie, I think I remember reading somewhere that those two cars were the same. Chrysler kept the turbine project clear up to 83 when it finally ended. That would have been an interesting concept. They did work. President Leno has one, right? The 914 started production with 9 problems, 1 ego, and 4 cylinders. That's a good one. Hey, BNR, good to see you. Movie car. I want the black Mercedes Richard Gere drove in American Gigolo. I'm trying to think of that one. I don't remember that car. Of all the obscure movie cars, I think I'd like to have Andrew Dice Clay's 1959 Ford Fairlane from the movie Ford Fairlane. That was a beautiful car. I don't know. What's everybody else's obscure movie car? Favorite movie car from a movie that you wouldn't really categorize it as a car movie. Mid 60s two-seater, hardtop convertible. I'm about to look into that. Like I said, that's one I don't really remember. I forgot about that. Yep. That was Molly Ringworm's car, right? We have John Travolta's limo for sale for $3,500. It has a 460. Did staying alive, I believe. Wow. 67 convertible Mustang and inner space. I forgot about that one too. That's kind of cool way to think of it. Everybody knows the iconic car movies, but to pick the cars out of the movies that weren't really car movies, that's pretty cool. The Turbo Interceptor from Wraith. That was one of I think it was Charlie Sheen's first leading role. That wasn't a bad movie. And wasn't it the same guy that did the Coyote from Hardcastle? Was it Hardcastle and McCormick? That the red and white Coyote, like a little sports car, total custom made car. Wasn't the same guy that made that car built the Wraith car? That was the car that started your car journey, huh? Way cool. The Boattail Riviera from due south. Don Johnson's Barracuda from Nash Bridges. Oh yeah, that bright yellow four-eyed Cuda. Oh yeah, from Nash Bridges, and the GTO from Triple X. I could go on. That Boattail Riviera from due south. Yeah. Arrows, you ever mess around with the Pontiac 301 turbocharged Trans Am and Formula 8081? I haven't. I would imagine it's really close to the Buick though. How much boost is there tweaking them? Oh, I know the Buick you can get up about 12, but I don't really recommend it. That the early ones, the early Buick Riviera turbo coupes. The only reason I know that is because we got one. All that's left is the engine tranny. One of these days we'll put it in something. But I have looked at the Pontiac one. I've only looked at it, and it looks a lot like the Buick one. So I'll bet you it's about the same. And I really haven't messed with turbos much. So Damien from First Responder, he could probably tell you on that though, and give you some hard numbers on it. Yeah, I figured that's what it was, wastegate. I feel for you because my fingers get to thinking too, and yes, sometimes that phone just tells me, or even this keyboard here, just kind of has a vocabulary of its own. From Lone Wolf McQuaid, you betcha. It's funny you don't see too many of those tribute builds out there because that was a pretty iconic movie when he gets buried alive and he kicks the blower because Mad Max you kick the blower on and he rips that old Ram Charger up out of the dirt after it's buried. Yeah, I remember that. That old red and white, yeah. Oh, wow. BJ and the Bear. Now there's something I haven't heard in a long time. The Green Charger from Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry. The Red 65 Coronet convertible from Beverly Hills Billies. Miss Jane drove it. Huh. 65 Coronet? I wonder if it was a Hemi. AJ Simon's Power Wagon. I remember that truck pretty well too. Mutt cuts me. For old Dumb and Dumber. Oh Lord, yeah. I get 75 miles per gallon out of this here hog. Was it an actual concept car? I always thought it kind of looked like a modern version of a Pantera. That is one of my favorite cars too. There's a gal here in Idle Falls that's got two of them. She bought one for parts to keep the other one going. Was that brain fart? I can't even think of who made the Pantera. Oh, you can see how far out of my pocketbook it is. I can't even say what it was. 12 psi. Stock Pontiac 301 turbocharger does 9, huh? Is that the most you can clock it out? All of the Cornet and Belvedere cop cars from the original Gone in 60. Stallone's Mercury from Cobra. There's a story about that car. I guess it got stolen. It was, Sylvester Stallone's car, and I guess it got stolen. And if I remember right, they're still looking for it. The GTX from Tommy Boy, that's actually David Spade's car. David Spade is a big car guy, big Mopar nut. He's got quite a collection. And the Daytona, yeah, that's another one. The Silverado from Fall Guy. The Scout from Dreamcatcher. The Black Nova from Death Proof. Guy I went to high school with. He had a Nova. He had a Nova because Dad wouldn't give him the Camaro. His dad's got a 67 bone stock, beautiful, beautiful Camaro. Still stock paint and everything. There's not a rock chip in it. And he couldn't get that car from his dad, so he bought a Nova and was trying to fix it up to look just like his dad's Nova, and he gave up, painted it satin black, and did the death proof thing. But that was before the movie. He drove the wheels off that little Nova. Oh, cars, they're just memories. De Tomaso. There you go, 6%. You saved my brain there. That is one sexy looking car. I'm not real big on sports cars, but yeah, the Pantera is one good looking car. Yeah. 351 Cleveland, mid-engine. Oh. I'm actually not a Ford guy, though. I'm an everything guy. But honestly, I play with more Chevys than anything. But Chevys are easy. Chevys are affordable. All the other ones, yeah. You kind of turn the difficulty level up a little bit when you play with anything but a Chevy. Pantera is supposedly Ferrari fast with a 427 tunnel port swapped in. The biggest problem with those cars was, well, one, overheating, which I can see with the 351 Cleveland running dry intake, yeah, and mid-engined, yeah. Those things run pretty warm as it is, and you stuff them in a mid-engine, yeah, they run hot. So they always ran hot, and transmissions, transaxles were a weak link in them. I had a Pantera on a rotisserie back when I owned Rustbusters of Ohio, huh? Sweet. Mangusa and Pantera are similar. The Mangusa was supposed to be the Cobra killer. Look up the Ford Milano, a 70s concept car. I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that's pretty cool. '59 Impala with the 409. I love the look of a 409. Those sculpted valve covers, oh, they're just beautiful. As much as I like the big block Chevy, 454, even the 396, 402, it's one of my least favorite looking engines. Good engines, don't get me wrong, but they're just the most boring. I think it's the valve covers. I think that's why. The stock valve covers on a 454, just little rollover valve covers. But those 409s with the sculpted valve covers, oh, they just look mean. Of course, you put aftermarket valve covers on it and dress it up, and then yeah, 454 looks pretty good. Elvis owned a Pantera. It wouldn't start one night, so he shot it up. Shot everything. The shot up car still exists, as is, huh? Oh, sweet. So does the television. I heard somebody's got it, or it might be in Graceland still. The TV that he shot. I got a friend's 1980 301 turbo, huh? Replace the 20-year-old MSD 6 spark box. Start timing. ESU computer bypassed. It's actually a spirited drive, huh? For the day, they weren't bad. Not eyeball lifting fast, but yeah. And like I said, you put it in 1980s standards, and yeah, it probably went pretty good. Made a short yesterday with the 3-1. I'm going again. Cool. I'll take a look at it. Now that I'm back home and everything and settled back in, get a little more time, I can actually go through and watch some of these videos. While I was out and about, I watched a bunch of you guys' videos, but all I was able to do is just leave a like. Didn't have much time to do any commenting, and yeah, when I try to comment from my phone, I think some of you know by now when I'm commenting on my phone, because it that autofill puts in all kinds of weird stuff, and sometimes I don't catch it and it goes. There was a CUDA convertible on the Brady Bunch, blue on blue. I remember the 57 Chevy. That was Greg's first car or something like that. Bought an old junk car, and then he's going to fix it up, and then it shows right back, after commercial break, he's got it all done, and it's nice, shiny. I remember that episode vaguely. I was like, yeah, TV ain't real. Takes more than a commercial break to get that kind of work done. But it had a CUDA convertible on it too, huh? Greg's first car, he rewired it himself. He wanted more power. I think 300 horsepower, obtain a roll from a 210. 245 stock per pound, same torque. Could support Corvette 350. I makes. Yeah, 300 horsepower out of a small block Chevy is pretty easy to get. And yeah, 210 was pretty standard around the 80s. And even those 350 EFI heads, they're just garbage for anything performance wise. Heck, it's a Chevy though. You are so wide open on any combination you'd want. If it fits in the hole, you're unlimited on what kind of horsepower you could throw to it and still pull the torque numbers needed. And you can do it so for such cheap money. Plymouth Belvedere on Leave It to Beaver. Had a lot of cool cars. There was another one on there was a 57 Chevy four-door wagon on Leave It to Beaver too. It was gray. Or maybe it was just because it was in black and white. But anyway, good friend of ours, he actually did a tribute car build for that, and he calls it Miss Cleaver. It's a 57 four-door wagon. Beautiful car. I don't know if it was Miss Cleaver's car or not. It was a car from that TV show, though, that he wanted to do a tribute for. My three sons had Pontiac and Chevy. I told him let's tinker with the 301 turbo. Yeah, you already got it. I mean, it's already right there. A big block Chevy for 454. The LS is a good swap. I can't deny it. But what I can deny is how everybody says how easy and cheap they are to do. They're not easy and they're not cheap. And you come across a lot of them. If when you're out there and you're looking on Facebook Marketplace and everything, you got to be real careful of those LS swaps that other people are doing. One of the key things they'll always tell you is, yeah, all it needs is to go in. You got to take it in and have it tuned. If they say that, yeah, I recommend walking away from it. That's a definite sign that thing is hack jobbed in there. And it's going to cost you about 3 times as much as if you would have just done it yourself. We've had a few of them like that. But when they're done right, the LS is a great platform. People are getting stupid power out of them. But when they're done wrong, yeah, which I would have to say probably 70% of all of them out there are, you get upside down in them builds in a real big hurry. Because they do. They cost money. They're a budget build that they never tell you the budget on. Unless you get it from somebody who knows what they're doing, like Sam from White Trash Motorsports. He knows what he's doing, and he does a really good job. Doc Art, he does a really amazing good job with this kind of stuff. But the they're the high level. And there's a whole bunch down below that, yeah, they need to stick to some other stuff. That's it exactly. Yeah. Use loose all ground clearance. Oh yeah, and that is the big one I see in a lot of these. Even, kind of reputable channels on YouTube. And yeah, they got that oil pan about that high off the pavement, and the cross members clear up here. You know that sucker's coming out of there. Yeah. Adam 12 had the very best of all cars, really. I forgot about that one too. Malcolm in the Middle, 68 Barracuda. Justin, can I get one of your stickers? Sure. Just throw me an email and yeah, I'll throw some in the envelope there for you. I give them to anybody and everybody. Heck, in fact, the other day, I don't know, it wasn't the other day, it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. The UPS guy come by and dropped off a bunch of packages. And again, I caught him at the door. Just as I opened the door, he was getting back in the truck, and he got in the truck and he looked out and he had his coffee cup, just a coffee tumbler. And he held it out the window and it's got my sticker on it. I thought that was kind of funny. I've given him, the Amazon drivers, all of them, when they come up, I give them stickers and yeah, talk to them. So yeah, if anybody wants stickers, just let me know. I give them all away. That's what I got them for. Well, how about you, Irish? What's going on?
Just got out of the rain. Literally just got out of the rain. It's been raining all day, so I've been out. I don't have a shop. So,
Oh, really?
you know, and somehow my canopy just it just walked off. So I don't know where it is. Somebody borrowed it. Whatever. Oh, look at there.
Got a little
I
war
ain't even
paint
got
on.
my hat on. That's how good I'm feeling. No, I
That's
seen
a
you was
pretty good
on.
looking Malibu you got there.
Yeah, it needs all the rust is in the rear. Like it's all sheet metal stuff too. The frame's perfect all the way around. Needs driver's side floorboard, but
That's common.
who needs that? And I really wasn't looking for a car. I
I
really
was
wasn't.
surprised down on the bottom around the rear window wasn't gone. Vinyl top
There's
car. That's
around those. What do they call those? Cabla. They got a name for that year. I Oh, you can barely hear me, huh? Well, good, because I don't want you to hear me anyway. How's that? But no, it's got rust around that back window, but somebody had somebody had filled them in with I don't know, silicone or something. So yeah,
It does have a little on.
yeah, not a lot though. It's fixable for what I want to do with it. Like when I put metal on those rear quarters, I'm just going to rivet them. I'm going to rivet them in and paint the car the color I'm going to paint it, and just be a shade tree paint job. I'm not even going to put an awning over. I'm just going to paint it. I ain't got time to put all that crap on it. It'd just be a random
Tractor
shoot
now.
color and whatever.
I just
But
checked on it a couple of weeks ago. $49 a gallon
do
for
what?
tractor enamel at Ace Hardware.
Oh yeah. Well, see, I've got a place up the parts store I grew up in. They've got PPG. They're a whole paint, department, like totally separate from the parts department. So I'm probably going to go to them and just try to get a random. If I, my personal idea is a Benny Parsons tribute. I've met him a couple times. He was a super awesome guy, hell of a driver, and that's what he drove. It was a '73 Chevelle. That was his championship-winning car. And I thought, I'd do something like that. I'm not gonna, cut the fender wells out of it or nothing, because I still want it to be mostly drivable. But it ain't gonna have no mufflers on it. It's gonna have a boom tube out the driver's side, and that's it, or passenger side actually. Just a big 2.5 or 3 inch pipe that spreads out to a big, like a megaphone. But I don't
Cut
know
you a
what I'm gonna do
couple
with
of
it yet.
apples, stick it in there, and call it good.
Yeah, headers, stick a pipe out the side, be done with it. That way, I can try to get those tickets, for loud pipes. I ain't had one in a while. But no, I wasn't looking for that car at all. But what happened was, I messaged the guy because the price on it, I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with it? The frame gone or something like that? And I was the first person to message him. I mean, I literally caught it as he was putting it up, and he messaged me back. He says, man, my phone's blowing up. And he knew me. He didn't tell me that until I got, got there to pick up the car, but he knew me and knew the channel. And as soon as he saw who I was, he told everybody else that was getting a hold of him that it was sold. He had like 50, 60 people. And guess what? All derbiers.
Oh,
And his brother, he's got a twin brother, and he derbies, and they don't get along because of this shit. So he said, he says, I'm just going to tell everybody else that you're taking it, right? I said, yeah. I said, I'll be there Saturday morning. I even gave him $50 more than what he had it on the thing, so he'd hold it. And it would have been, for a derbier, being an old derbier myself, it would have been a great car to build. The frame is perfect on it. So he basically told them all that he had sold it. One guy offered him $100 more than what I did, and he said no. So it was a combination of me and him realizing that what was going to happen to this car if I didn't take it, because he had nobody like me that was looking at it. It was all derby guys, because they're not a real, it's not like it's the second, whatever Chevelle, the 68 to 72. It's
exactly.
It's a 1 year only, of course, 1 year only body style. And what makes it 1 year only is those two rear side glasses.
Roof's a little bit different shape in the back too, right?
Yeah, it's a totally different look than our 76. I mean, even if you take the headlights out, it's a totally different look on the outside. So, yeah.
Used to see a lot of them used on circle track back in the day.
Yep. that's what I was telling. They're just like any other car. Like I told Dalton about his Mustang 2, his Cobra, King Cobra. The reason you can't find anything for those is because they're, everybody stole the front ends out of them, because that's all anybody wanted out of them, because they're
Yeah.
just a overpriced Pinto is what they were. But I love those cars. 'Cause
I'd like to have one
if you
again.
do some work on them, man, they're
Quick.
yeah. Not to mention they're a little bitty light body. They're not very heavy.
Exactly. You stick a little 302 in them and those things move. Hey, Zeppy, what's going on?
Yeah, we're all out here. Amber's right there.
Hey, Amber.
Yeah, I'm just coming in. We had the Halloween parade today, and oh my God, it got down to like you could see your breath and it's drizzling. And I can handle cold weather, man. I don't give a damn if it's 20 below. I can manage. But when it's wet and raining,
And you get a little
the older
breeze.
we get, the more our bones are like, no, you did not just bring me out into this.
And your fingers won't.
Oh yeah, my feet and my hands are tingling, and then I come straight home and went right back into the rain working on Bonnie. Finally took that Carter off there, put an Edelbrock on it, which I should have done that for. I wish I would have done it before duct tape drags, because you can just hear it. It just runs so much.
I love Edelbrock.
I'll use both. I got a Holly that really ain't give me any fits on Blanche, but the other day I put a PCV valve in it because it never had one.
Uh-huh.
And Fords really love PCV valves. So
Oh, God,
I
yeah.
went ahead and finagled one to work in the valve cover. And when I went to pull off the little cap I had on the front port of that Holly, which a lot of people don't know that, you're supposed to hook it to the front port on those carburetors, not the rear. And I hooked it and I went and I pulled that cap off and gas came out. Oh,
Ah,
okay. All right, I guess I need to take the damn metering block off, and a little bit getting past the power valve probably. I don't know. It runs good though. Got the transmission fixed. My own fault. That seal.
that's
But
what it was.
yeah. Oh yeah. I drove it around today. Didn't give me one problem. But I don't know why I was the one working on it. That's Zeppy's car. He's supposed to be doing it. But yeah, I just come in.
That's why I thought of that name for when you was asking to name the car.
Yeah.
That's why I thought of that name.
What's that?
Well, everybody says it's Dire Maker. Led Zeppelin,
Oh yeah.
but it's not. It's Jamaica. That's how you actually pronounce it.
Did I steal your lighter? I did. No.
That was my vote for your name.
Yeah. I haven't figured that part out. I'm gonna wait until I get it up here to work on it, and that's gonna be a while because it's got to have a motor before I can do anything with it. So we got to pick which motor's going in it, don't we? I got a
Chevy, it's
big
easy.
block has to go. One of the big block has to go in Amber's pickup. That's it.
Ooh.
And I said 402 for that one. I was gonna build a 402, and then I mentioned doing a small block in it instead, and I got the stink eye. So it's going to get the big block. And then I thought about putting a big block in this car, this 73, but I've got a 350 out there that's 30 over and the cylinder walls look good.
There you go.
Put a friggin' what you call it in there? A Eagle rotating assembly, like a stroker. Just put some cheap ass eBay aluminum heads, or find some 202s, or actually the 305 HO heads That's damn near close to a 202, and it's a little bit better flow. But I don't know. I got a million things I could do. I'll probably end up putting a small block in it.
Don't stroke it, just flat top it, get the compression up.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Hell, I may get those heads back off of that 350, and it may already have. Who knows? I haven't taken the cam out. I don't know what's in it, but I know it's got a lockup in one of the cylinders. At least I hope it's a like a ridge in the cylinder and not a bearing hanging up. But either way, it's a small block 350. I can go up to my crank guy up here, and he's got probably 50,000 of them on his shelf. So
That's why I love them.
Yep. But no, we're getting busy, and the weather is not cooperating at all. But could be worse. I could live where you live, or
It's
live
getting
up
cold.
in Iowa where they're getting snow like crazy right now.
Coming home from San Diego, from Salt Lake all the way home, it was a total whiteout. We could only
Nope.
see about 20 feet ahead.
Nice.
We
Yeah,
just
that's
slipped
what
in
I'm not
behind
looking
a
forward to.
semi truck and let him just bulldog us through.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that crap at all. I don't mind it if you're just sitting around the house or driving a car around, but I'm in the damn semi doing it. That sucks.
Big time.
I'm just waiting on the day that I don't have to drive a truck no more. Trust me. That's like the only part about truck driving I really hate is driving in the snow. And it usually ain't me; it's the idiots around me. You got
That's the hard
Quad
part.
Doc Doe, he's flying down the highway at 75 mile an hour in the passing lane and not paying attention. Then he's blocking. Then I'm stuck out in the snow for 4 hours. I mean, we don't get it near as bad as you do, obviously, but it around here it's that slushy, nasty, or it's just complete ice. It's this year's supposed to be bad, so I guess we'll find out. Where's that? Trying to read. There we go. But no, I seen you was on. I thought I'd stop and say hi. I don't get a lot of time to
always
go
good
live
to-
anymore, so
Yeah, I'm starting to get back in the swing of things. I got about 4 videos that should have been out a long time ago.
I still got my damn No Name Nationals video. I've been, of course, it's always something. Kid's car breaks down. I work on it. I think I'm going to do the No Name National. Nope. Now we got to get Blanche going. Nope. Now we got to get this. Come on. Just give me one break. It's like now I got a whole nother video with Blanche and Bonnie that I did today. Because I got to get them going. And then the Mustang's down again. It's sitting out here. He's got my Javelin. And it ain't got no heat. So he has the Javelin, and I got the Mustang out here. Tomorrow it gets a new flex plate and clutch kit. All coming in tomorrow for it. He ruined the ring on the pressure plate or the flywheel. Starter ruined it. So now every time it comes around to a certain point, it sounds like you're throwing wrenches in a fan. Oh yeah. So, and we used to, you just take it to the welding shop and you buy a new ring and put on there. And I was going to do that because I think I actually have one still from back in the day that I never replaced. And, but I got the whole kit for $200 with everything. Stage 2 clutch kit with the flywheel, everything. And I remember when I put that flywheel on there, it probably should have been turned So we'll just put a new one on it and be done with it. But I
I
better
leave
get
my
out of here.
flywheels. You take them
Yeah.
to somebody who actually turns flywheels. Don't take it to
Yeah.
like O'Reilly's and them that use the
No, no,
brake
no.
cutter on them.
Yeah, no.
Don't work.
We've got a shop here. It's actually Skylar's uncle, Skylar's mom's uncle, and he's got a diesel shop, and he actually has a lay down lathe where you put it
Yeah.
down on it that has the stone that goes. Yeah, that's usually what I do with it. But
So you get that good swirl
yep,
cross cut in there.
it almost looks like crosshatch in a cylinder by the time I'm done.
Exactly.
But I used to have to turn them there. I did do them when I worked at the parts store. I used to turn them all the time, but it's not the same. You need something to
No,
scuff it, not to cut it. You need it scuffed.
exactly. You got to have that to break in the clutch.
Yeah. Zeppelin's over here reading the Edelbrock carburetor manual.
Sweet. You got him working right, man.
Yeah, he's his Nintendo Switch. All he does is build hot rods. That's all he does. He don't. Every once in a while he'll play some random game, but usually he's like, "Dad, look what I did." And he's, God, you know how much blowers cost? Yeah, that's why we don't have one, son. But I better get going. I'm gonna get off here and take a hot
Great
ass
seeing you,
bath. Is
Jay.
what I need to do. My bones hurt. So we'll see you guys later.
Great seeing y'all.
Yep.
Ah, he's a cool guy. Let's see. Make sure I didn't get lost here. Silicone carbide. Overall diesel engines with that abrasive dust all over. Yeah, I think Irish was having a little bit of mic troubles there. I had to turn mine way up. Now I'm scared to hit any other buttons or I'll blast you all out. I guess it's come from being a drummer. With that, I think we'll call it a night. I'll have more coming up. Like I said, as soon as I get everything unloaded out of out of my little deal here, I got about 4 videos I got to edit up. Bad thing about doing it that way and lagging. uh, I noticed about 4 other channels that got the same videos that I had that I just didn't publish. So I'll have a couple of coattail videos coming, I guess. Oh well, it's all fun. Anyway, look forward to those, and I kind of hinted towards it to there. I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. Might be coming up. All you guys looking to build for this next coming year's No Name Nationals, stay tuned. Stay tuned with John. We might have an event coming out especially for the builders that are going to be building a car for this next year's No Name Nationals. Stay tuned with all of us, and we'll scoop you in, and maybe you can win a little something. Anyway, thanks for coming out again, and we'll catch you all next week. Until then, get out there and get some of that metal hot. And stave off all this cold weather. And we'll catch you on the next one.